Good morning and welcome to the 214 Sports Show, your home for everything Dallas-Fort Worth sports. My name is Joseph Duffy, and I'm joined alongside Mr. TJ Krulowitz in the absence of Courtney Machani. Hope he gets back very soon. But TJ, how are you doing, man?
It's good, man. Got a little sunburnt, ready to get going, man.
Yeah, a little sunburn. I think you had a little activity going on yesterday. What was going on
I
with your?
was. What are you talking about? Huh?
You were swinging the putt, right?
Oh yeah. Yep. I was out there
Yeah.
golfing with Gooseman.
Uh-oh.
A couple other people. It was great. I shot like shit, which is what I expected, but had a great time doing it. In the
Listen.
in the sweltering heat, sweltering Austin heat.
Yeah, it's no joke down here, man. It really is unbelievable. It was a little better yesterday. It's going to be probably a little bit better than it was this whole week for the next week. But, man, this heat is insane down here. I mean, not like it's not much different, like, in the in North Texas where we're from. But, you know, it's going to get wild around here, even around the actual regular season. At least most of the games don't look like they're at 11 a.m. anymore.
Yep.
Finally. Finally.
Yep.
We
Hey
can
man.
finally move past a little bit some of that.
I
But
don't know, man. 2:30 seems just as intense, if not worse. So
yeah, the
that's the
Colorado
only
State
problem. The
that game
five
does.
once the game starts ending, though, there is shade, not in the student section, but there is shade in the stadium. 11 o'clock. Good luck. Good
Dude,
luck.
dude,
That's
I
how
don't.
bad it's so bad here in September games, but I love them anyways.
I love the late October, early November games when it's just overcast, no
Mm-hmm.
sun, no heat, just basically humidity. Those
Mm-hmm.
games are the best.
Oh yeah, some of the best games I've had were like November games, like Kansas State last year and
That
and
game,
Tech.
dude.
That game was
That,
so much fun.
that game was special, bro. Kansas State, man. That game was just. That might have been the best game I've ever seen, like, all time that resulted in a win for a team I liked. 'Cause I have not gone to that many games in person in my life. Definitely not an NFL game. Still haven't been to that. But, college football, the only games I've gone to really are just, I guess, SFA when I was really little. But in terms of big time college football, Texas,
The
I can't say Alabama.
Lumberjacks.
I can't say Alabama because, I mean, we lost that. And it was a great game, though, but a game that we actually won. That Kansas State game was probably the best I've seen all time in person.
I was having the time of my life. And it
Yeah.
was 11 o'clock kickoff, and it was not hot at all. It was great. Felt great.
I thought we were gonna lose. I mean, I really did. I don't know about you, but especially when they got the first down and the overtime drive. I don't know why they couldn't just go back to the same game plan. It seemed like they really just got too much in their head right there. I did like their
Yeah.
decision to go for a fourth down. I would have done the same probably.
Yeah, no,
But
they made the right choice. Hope Malik Murphy does good at Duke.
yeah, best of luck to Malik Murphy, former Longhorn, now announced as the QB1 for the Duke Blue Devils, who are possibly going to have to look for a new home in the future, maybe. Looks like the ACC might be in the downward spiral as well, and some teams might join the SEC, some might join the Big Ten. College football is all over the place, and that brings us to the topic that football is back. Week 0 matchup coming up at 11 a.m. Florida State going against Georgia Tech in Dublin, Ireland. I believe this is now probably the fourth or fifth matchup of the Ireland series now, where they're competing in Dublin. Indeed, Florida State fans still a little bit salty from last season. Apparently, they are booing Kirk Herbstreit
That's what I
as it
heard.
stands right now. But they have a chance to. It's hard to say right your wrongs because they really technically didn't do anything wrong last year. How can I say they're trying to right their wrongs? I mean, they had an undefeated regular season. They won the conference championship, and I know where
They
you
got
stand.
hurt.
I know where
They
you
got
stand
hurt.
on it. I know where you stand on it. But let the
What
viewers know
else? What
real
else
quick
can
where
they
you.
do, man? What else can they do except for watch ESPN take their money and ratings away and you know truly decide who's the best at college football. Like I get they lost 63-3 in the bowl game. It does not matter, man. We gotta really stop doing this false narrative that bowl games matter. We know that it didn't matter. We know that if they tried, they probably would have still lost by a lot. By a lot. Georgia was also another team that should have gone into the playoffs. There's a lot of teams that should have made it to the playoffs this year. That's why, you know what? Another move to make money in ratings was to go to 12 teams. It might actually be working out in the end, because last year was a really big, at the end, there's so many teams that deserved it. Didn't have enough spots. Fortunately, Florida State didn't make the cut. They got hurt, which was the first time that I've ever seen that rule be applied to the voting process. But it's fine. It's fine. You know.
Had no clue that like injury actually could affect your CFP
Yeah, on the
admittance, but
fucking
there we were, I
about
guess.
page. Yeah, on
There.
the about page of the college football playoff website. Like, oh look, it's in right here in the fine print.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Apparently, there the entire time, but poor Jordan Travis didn't want to go out that way for him, but going against North Alabama State, that bad injury that kind of hurt his leg. Now he's with the Jets, I believe, backing up Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if he's the
Yeah,
backup or if he'll be the third string, but
your guess is as good as mine. I didn't know if he was actually actively playing. I know that
yeah,
injuries can really, really, really suck, really ruin your career, especially, you know, in the senior year of college. So,
yeah. Just glad you don't have to argue for four teams, like you said, because I really don't know how like anybody could win last year arguing with those college football playoff teams. Um, there's at least six good teams that I thought were, capable of being in the college football playoff, and I'll say it till it gets annoying. I don't know how like one loss to Alabama like that with Georgia is supposed to bring them all the way down like that, but
but
it
then
is
you
what it
had the
is.
Texas beat Bama, and you can't put Bama in if you're gonna not put Texas in, and all this
Like,
stuff.
come
So
on, man,
it
come
caused,
on.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
no,
the
yeah,
12
it's a
team
tough.
playoff is probably going to be well received,
I hope
especially when it comes
so.
down to December, because I don't know how you argue four teams anymore with college football with all this talent around. That
Mm-hmm.
last year was the most like contentious I've ever seen it. So,
Yeah,
uh,
I hope so. And one thing that I don't like is how in the 12-team format, though, like in the first round, that there's actual home games being played. Kind of be
yeah,
fun to get the neutral sites, and
yeah.
because it just feels, I don't know, again, it just feels like it's so
If
easy to rig it, so easy to
it
rig it.
feels too D2
It,
ish, if you know what I mean. Even though, like,
yeah, yeah, it does.
FCS, like, they've done that format for years, apparently. Especially if you watch, like,
No clue.
Sam Houston football, if you watch North Dakota State. They've done the home game format. I'm just like, why in the world are we hosting this postseason, game format at actual stadiums? And, they've been doing it for a while. And even when Sam Houston's not as good as they used to be right now because they transitioned from the FCS down to the FBS. But back then, when they were hosting some really rowdy games at their stadium, uh, trying to move on in the FCS championship. Same with North Dakota State and South Dakota State. It's gonna be interesting to see how that would work if Texas were to host a game.
Yeah,
Uh,
like, it just feels like why would you do that? I get that it helps give the advantage to the better teams, but you only have 12 teams left. You have all the money in the world to make this a neutral game site. I think it would make it more fun, more entertaining. Neutral game sites are usually pretty, set up to make a pretty good game, I feel like, especially in the college football playoffs. So,
the thing that I'm thinking about is, um, I probably I'm probably gonna work. I want to work somewhat, like throughout December and January back home. But like, what if like we're like a top four seed or something, and we're hosting? I don't know how I'm supposed to get down here and back in one weekend or something. Because I mean, I don't know how that would work or something.
no,
Because
that is a good point. That is a good
I'm
point. I have
we
no clue how it's going to work out. I have no
yeah.
clue. I used to not be a big fan of it. I used to be like, look, man, it's gonna eventually get the 12, the 20, the 24 teams, the 64 teams, just like March Madness. It's never gonna end. They're gonna want them to turn 64 to 68, just like March Madness. They're gonna keep going. Look, I kind of like the 12 team. I hope they stay at 12 team. I know that they said that they wanted to switch to like 16 teams.
I thought they said they were going
already.
to like 14 like after this year. I thought they already had that in paper. I'm
I
pretty
had
sure.
no clue about that. I
Let
know
me.
that they wanted to go to 16. 12 is perfect. 12 is great. All
Yeah,
right.
it says um, every football subdivision conference in Notre Dame have agreed to the new. I like how they said that every football bowl
And Notre
subdivision
Dame.
and Notre Dame have agreed to the new 6-year college football contract set to begin 2026. That paves the way for the format to expand to 14 teams. Playoff executive director Bill Hancock said on Friday. That's
See,
just come on.
even when the 4 teams weren't enough like last year, it still wasn't like it still wasn't like you could make it like a top 6, once you kind of got off like with Oregon, you had okay, so you had Oregon, Ohio State, teams like Ole Miss and Missouri. Once after that, you kind of had a big fall off. You kind of had a big fall off. You don't really need more than 12, I don't think, because even then 12's kind of it's kind of reaching it, but it's all right.
I'm still trying to figure out how um I mean, the conference championship is going to work out again, and how they're going to do all the seeding. It's probably already been said already, but it's going to be interesting to see how like the end of the season seedings work. If like you're a runner up and you automatically like qualify for the top 14, right? I'm assuming. Like, what if
Yeah,
you
if you win
were?
a conference championship, yeah.
But I mean, like, if you were the runner up and you were like a Cinderella
Oh,
team to get there or something, because say like I don't know. Well,
what?
if
You
you
want to be
if you
like Middle Tennessee State has a miraculous Conference USA season.
suck
Goes,
in like the non-conference, but like go crazy, I guess, in the very end of their conference schedule. Make the championship game as a conference team, but then like wet the bed against a superior team in the conference. Do they make it, or they just get out of there? I don't know. I don't know. It's
you
gonna be
got to
interesting.
take them out. You got to take them out, just like Georgia. I mean, it's almost the same case as Georgia. They're not going to put Middle Tennessee State if they crap the bed in the conference championship game against Liberty.
Another question I was gonna say about this college football playoff. What was I gonna say? Hold on. This is gonna be interesting, man. Um, college football playoff. Yeah, it's a new era at least. So football is back. Week 0 underway at 11 a.m. Notre Dame versus Georgia Tech. Haynes King, the former A&M quarterback, making his second opening start
You meant
against.
to say Florida State. You said Notre Dame. Notre
My
Dame
bad,
and
Notre
Georgia
Dame.
Tech. You
My bad,
good?
Notre
You good?
Notre Dame. My
Good.
bad. Georgia Tech and Florida State.
The
The Yellow
Fighting
Jackets.
Irish.
The Yellow Jackets. But
Making a surprise appearance like WWE. Like, oh my god,
oh my god,
in
it's
their
the
home
Fighting Irish
country.
in the home ovation. My god, the Irish have come home. Oh my god, bro! I can't believe they're still doing this. By the way, the worst is when like it was like I think 2014, 2015. They had the Notre Dame. Um, I think they were trying to, of course, debut the Dublin series. I think they thought it would last this long, but they were doing it against Navy, I believe. And I mean, that was just. I don't know why you would put that game overseas, bro. Having them watch that freaking triple option offense, like you knew that was gonna be a
Um,
stomping, bro.
and what's it like? Why would Navy ever have any kind of following outside of America for for athletic sports?
Come
It's
on,
just like
man.
you could get Georgia Tech fans in Ireland, maybe.
Yeah,
Like
they
maybe
can
they would
travel,
have it.
man.
Yeah,
Come
they could
on.
travel. But Navy, they don't really. It's not like anyone's out there like being a okay. That might be a little bit inconsiderate. There's probably a couple people out there that have put a lot of their time and effort into watching Navy football,
Yeah,
even though they've
like
never been the Navy.
yeah,
But in
like
Ireland,
bro, like if you're family, if you have people on the team, like I understand that, but setting that rivalry game, it's not even a rivalry game. It's historically a rivalry game, but come on, man. Navy's probably never beating Notre Dame again. I mean, the last time they beat them was, I think, early 2010s. It's been a long, long time. Notre Dame is, it's just too talented, man. There's no way they can beat that they can lose to a team that runs a triple option in 2024. And I can't believe we're still doing that really with these military schools that are running these very archaic offenses. Because Air Force is starting to really, flesh out from that, which is what I really like. I'm not sure why. Because, look, I understand they're undersized up front. I get it. And, Navy and Army have these very small quarterbacks. But, man, you can at least try to pass the ball. Come on. There's no way you can't just pass the ball like a little slant, bro. No way. Triple option in 2024. Are we serious?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's I think they're in the. I learned a lot of conferences, and even with the realignment back in my internship this summer, I think they're in American Athletic. I'm pretty sure they are.
They're in the American now. Yeah,
I think they're in American Athletic with Air Force and Army, which is. Hey man, that's a horrible conference. I want to get out real quick. That is a horrible conference. I think I don't even know who's the best team in that conference. I think Tulane maybe.
Let me look at that conference now because Tulane
but shout
left.
out because North Texas is in it.
Hey man, North Texas has been bouncing around lately.
Oh yeah, but no, and they also have been sucking lately.
Dude, they're not good. They're terrible. They're awful, man. The SMU, how about SMU going to the ACC? Like, that's just so wild to me to think. I mean, they used to be a big time program back in the 80s with the Pony Express and stuff, but now like they're back to being like a top college conference now.
The death penalty, man. You want to see that get taken to any man? Imagine if that happened to like Texas, man. It would be like. Would be like Arizona right now, probably. Like that kind of prestige. Like, yeah, we're good. Don't know what a playoff game looks like. But yeah, we're good. We're all right.
If we got struck down like that and all of a sudden had to play like in Conference USA, could you imagine that? That'd be wild.
My gosh, Texas versus Jacksonville State after they got reinstated after 5 years for not getting enough recruits.
Texas in the Sun Belt. Gets Appalachian State.
Appalachian State has beat Texas for the 5th year straight. Old Dominion is
Old Dominion. By God, Troy! They've done it again, Troy! They have beat the Texas Longhorns. That'd be insane.
And you're just sitting here waiting for Texas to beat this rivalry game against Troy. They got a rivalry with Troy. They got a rivalry with Georgia Southern.
Georgia Southern. Dude, that would be insane to see those matchups. But hopefully those days would never come. Speaking of rivalries coming back, A&M and Texas officially signing off on the deal a few days ago. Chris Del Conte and the A&M athletic director signed off on that paperwork a few days ago and had a press conference to show for the Lone Star Series. Also coming to the forefront is the new cup apparently they're going to have for this for every sport. And apparently every sport can get a cup for it and the post game, whoever wins. And they're going to keep track and tally for years to come. So that's going to be interesting to see because I don't know how A&M is going to possibly win that many cups for this because I think they have a cup for each sport and also a total cup for a yearly basis, unofficial yearly cup basis, like how the Rangers and Astros have, a Lone Star Cup for their series too, but it's going to be interesting.
I mean, there's already an award that's given out to teams that tracks your athletic accomplishments throughout all sports already. It is called the Directors Cup, and Texas has won it 3 of the last 4 years out of all the teams in the nation. So it's just kind of hard to be like, like maybe, if you wanted to make it like football / I don't know, man. Like if you want to make it like a basketball, like a major 3,
a major
football,
3, yeah,
basketball,
right.
Baseball, that works. That's fine. But you want to add like swimming and diving to this? Are you serious, Aggieville?
Y'all don't want that, man. Y'all do not want that.
You're cooked.
Put track and field on it. Put track and field. It's over.
You don't want this rowing smoke. We're back to back, or not back to back, but we're National championships 3 of the last 4 years in rowing.
Don't
Three
even talk
time, three
volleyball.
back to back to back volleyball. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like I don't know what track and field they won too last year. I think the men's it was men's or women's. Can't remember one of them, not the other though. But hey, I mean, I don't know why you'd want to mess with us. Number one in the SEC in gold medals too. Now we're just taunting.
yeah. I know we're just bragging.
Now we're
We're
just
we're, we're
bragging.
we're getting carried away. Anyway, let's get into the Cowboys a little bit. Not too much going on. A preseason matchup at 3:00. The final of the preseason matchups before the NFL season kicks off on September 1st. With the Ravens visiting the Kansas City Chiefs, the Super Bowl champions, ready to unveil their, I believe, fourth Super Bowl banner in Kansas City. Cowboys, I believe, are playing the Chargers at 3:00. New head
Uh,
coach. Is it
yeah,
Chargers?
Chargers.
Yeah. New head
Mm-hmm.
coach and Jim Harbaugh. Austin Eckler departed, but
He
Justin
totally
Herbert
didn't cheat. Totally didn't cheat,
totally did
guys.
not cheat.
Believe him. Believe him.
He just
He
left,
has no clue what happens at all in his coaching room. No clue at all. Trust me.
Hey man, he just left by happenstance. I mean, he just saw an opening. He said, "I just want to leave out of nowhere after winning a national championship in Michigan. I just want to go right back to the NFL, and I want to answer
Yep.
no questions about the scandal." But Jim Harbaugh, returning to the NFL, still on the West Coast, really has never left that part of the country for NFL or any of his early college coaching career. But he'll be with the Chargers in Inglewood, now at the SoFi Stadium. And is there any players you really are looking for in this game? If you do watch it, I don't know if you will, but any guys you're really looking for to shine or something? Is there any running back? Because I know this running back room is very competitive, and it's not like there's a crazy favorite for who's going to be RB3 or RB4. But is there anybody you're watching at all that you think can possibly stand out in this game?
I mean, no, to be honest, I've never really cared for Cowboys preseason games. It seems like there's really not many names that come out of preseason. Not to say that you shouldn't be excited to watch the preseason game if you are. There has been names like Cavante Turpin has been a preseason name. Of course, Dak Prescott is a big one that came from preseason that ended up being a huge player for the Cowboys. But you're looking at the preseason this year. Trey Lance doesn't look like what he's gonna. Dak. He's not playing like what Dak Prescott did to take over Tony Romo's starting role back in 2016. Trey Lance has just not been that impressive. He hasn't even been really even able to get much going. He's not. He's not getting on. It doesn't seem like he's been able to get drives going where he's able to complete passes over and over again. He's a little inconsistent. He's not able to use his leg. He's been using his legs, but he's not been able to use it kind of as much as you want him to, or as effective as you want him to, is what I'm trying to say. Obviously, you could see that Jerry Jones also thinks that Trey Lance needs to be doing better. Um, this is kind of me just again being Texas. We've been talking about Texas a lot. We're both wearing Texas shirts, but Demarion Overshown again is another big player that I think is going to have a good season for the Cowboys. This is something, I kind of remember like Jalen Smith, his first year coming back after we drafted him and he had his whole first year out. He had a great first year coming back. I think he was like all rookie first. What was he all rookie first team? Something like
I
that.
think he was. Let me look
And
real quick.
but yeah, I'll talk while you do that. Demarion Overshown
He wasn't.
he wasn't okay. Well,
Apparently
he
not.
was he was very good. He was very good his rookie year. Just like our Overshown his rookie year. And so I think that their play style is pretty similar. And I think that Overshown is kind of really just a good leader, just a good player, good intensity guy. Can't wait to see what he does.
I'm with you right there in DeMarvin Overshown, man. I don't know if you remember those memes of him having all the armbands and stuff. He used to wear a crazy amount of armbands on his during his days in Texas. I don't know if he'll still do that here, but you just hate to see young players have those injuries like he did last year with the torn ACL that he had. And,
Yeah.
to finally see him live out his dream playing with the Cowboys now, after, finishing pretty well with his college career, I'm glad for him. And hopefully he can contribute well to this linebacker core because
We need it.
we need it desperately, man. Desperately. And, we got
Yeah.
Eric Kendricks. I get it. But he's a little bit older. He's not the same Eric Kendricks anymore. Not exactly the tackling machine he used to be an All-Pro. But I do believe that's a good signing. But I love a young rookie who can at least step up for us in the running back room. I mean, the linebacker room. Running back wise, I don't know what they're gonna do with this rotation. I don't know if they're gonna bring all 5 dudes onto this room so far. Because remember, it's gonna be Zeke. Let me see, Royce Freeman, Rico Dowdle, um,
Deuce Vaughn.
Malik Davis, and then Deuce Vaughn. So, did I say Royce Freeman at all? Did I say that?
Yeah, you did. You did.
Yeah. So this is gonna be interesting to see because Deuce Vaughn actually has not been too bad in preseason. He's been pretty decent. He looks all right with the ball per carry, but I don't know who's going to get cut. I don't know if they carry 5 guys. I mean, I haven't seen any reports saying that they're willing to, and usually have typically a cut every year. And I'd hate to see Malik Davis get cut because he was looking really good and looking like a bright spot in that 12-5 team 2 years ago. And all of a sudden, he might be replaced because we've signed these new guys and promoted Rico Dowdle. So, what do you foresee really with that running back room this year? Do you think it's going to be a run by committee? Do you think it's going to be a 2-headed monster?
I mean, I kind of hope that it's more of, I do like it. It was pretty rare last year. I wouldn't say pretty rare. I would say it was decently rare. But when Rico Dowdle got open space, he was dangerous, and that's not something that we're going to be able to get with Zeke. So I'm kind of hoping that there's a 2-headed monster kind of situation with this, because of course Zeke, he's going to get open space. He's not going to be nearly as quick as Rico Dowdle. But yeah, that being said, Rico Dowdle needs to step up if we need to do that. I really am kind of lost in this running back situation. I have no clue how Jerry Jones and company was kind of made this running back room this mediocre / this bad. They had so many opportunities to make this running back room kind of an improvement. I mean, even keeping Tony Pollard would have been better at this point. But I digress. Team doesn't want to pay players as much as other teams do, which you can argue is good, bad, whatever. To me, I feel like the Cowboys' lack of aggressiveness in free agency has definitely bit them in the ass a couple times in recent history. And I think that this is what's going to happen again. I think this team again is loaded with talent, just like every year. They are loaded with talent. Their drafting skills is amazing. They have amazing talent on the offensive side as always. Their defense has a bunch of all pros on their team or potential all pros. But once again, the running back room just sucks, man. It just sucks. And so I don't know, man. I don't know. I really can't tell you. But I do hope that Daddle can improve. Again, I do like his speed. He gets open space. He's able to get a lot of yards. He's potential to be dangerous. So I don't know.
Hey man, I'm right there with you, and it's not looking like there's a lot of people who are high on this running back team really across the league. There's a lot of rankings that have us in the very bottom of that, with recent polls going on. But when I look at this depth chart potentially for them, I do think there's potential at least for red zone efficiency, for red zone efficiency's sake. But as far as running. Yeah,
That's
because I think
that they struggled in, man.
I think they'll improve. Having Zeke and Royce Freeman there, surely that increases it because that's Zeke's specialty.
He's usually a good red zone quarterback. He was decent last year. He had a couple mess ups, couple bad moments in the red zone last year, but he's generally pretty reliable in that in the regular season.
He should bounce back from that because that's true. You got to clarify that. But Tony Pollard, he's not that kind of guy you want on the goal line. Zeke is that guy. Royce Freeman is that bowling ball kind of guy. Mm-hmm. But looking between the middle of the field, 30, 35 yard line, I don't know what to expect from this running back core. And Zeke, he's not that 2017, 2018 running back anymore where he has a quick burst. His cuts are just not as forceful anymore. They don't have linebackers on their heels anymore. I mean, I don't know what to say other than that. But go ahead. What are you gonna say?
No. I was just thinking of this training camp video where he's going through the running back. Yeah.
And then we got
shit.
and then he got hit in the nuts.
He goes and just puts his hands on his knees and just stays there for like a minute.
Hey man, he's got the regardless, he's still got the crazy Zeke aura with the visor, got the hair coming out, the sleeves. He still looks cold.
Man.
I don't know about you.
Look good, playing incredibly average.
That's so sad. Man. That's so sad. But I sure hope he can secure the football this year because we are going to need him to really hold on to that football this year. It's going to be interesting to see. I can't believe he's not 21 anymore. It makes me feel annoyed to have his jersey right now. I'm glad he's back at least so I can rep it again, but he's back to his college number with 15.
Oh, yeah, man. Cowboys fans spent at least $1 billion overall with Zeke merch over the years he was here, man. There's a lot of happy people for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I'll rep it again.
Zeke merch, so
I'll rep it again proudly. Number 21.
I missed it, man.
I missed seeing that. Yeah,
you know.
It's gonna be his first touchdown. He better jump in the Salvation Army bucket. Did they have it there before Thanksgiving games, right? They have the whole season, right?
It's always. I think it's usually during the Thanksgiving game that they start bringing it out because it's the holidays, donations, just because it's the Red Bull, like isn't it like more like a Christmas thing?
Yeah, I guess
we're not donating over the summer, man. That's what they're saying. This is a holiday exclusive. All right.
Oh my god.
That's what
I can't believe how mad they get over like people jumping into the can, bro. I mean it helped donations apparently back then.
Yeah, no, it helped them a lot, and it's like
NFL so mad.
You think that the
time.
NFL, if they were to fine them, that they would give the money to the Salvation Army or some kind of charity, but they just keep it themselves too. So, kind of fun league, huh?
No fun league. Typical. But let's finish off with doing a little bit of Weddle, if you want to load that up a little bit before we get out of here. Folks, we do invite you to subscribe and like our YouTube page and Spotify at 2 and 4 Sports Show for both. We'll post this whole thing in its entirety. We'll post it right after this, but I don't know why I'm acting like this is a live stream. But we'll post it at 2 and 4 Sports Show on YouTube and Spotify.
So how about we started our talking about Georgia Tech and Florida State. So what about like Dalvin Cook? Dalvin Cook.
That's a good one. Bro, I felt so stupid last year because
Dalvin Cook is no longer on a roster.
Oh my Jesus! What a fall from grace, by the way.
Could do James Cook.
I was gonna say, let's do James Cook. I was saying, bro, I had no clue that he and James Cook were related, bro. I felt so stupid afterwards.
You didn't know that?
I was I guess that makes sense now, huh? Both got the same braids. Both play running back.
I drafted him his rookie year. He fumbled in his first handoff of his whole career, and he didn't play for the next 2 games. I was like, what a waste of a pick. All right. So there's probably a receiver. Could be quarterback. You never know.
Are we still going with the Georgia Tech Florida State theme, or are we just switching it up now?
Dude, I have no clue who went to Georgia Tech.
They don't have any crazy skill guys anymore. It's mainly just linemen.
Even Florida State, I mean, their program's was not that good a couple years ago. I don't know many players that just got drafted by them. I know Keon Coleman, obviously, this year.
Let's go with T. Higgins.
T. Higgins.
AFC North should be like 6'1", 6'2", older than 24.
Okay, 6'3", 6'2".
My bad.
And the only player I know from Florida State right now that's active is Jameis Winston at this point. I'm trying to think of anyone else.
Let's go AFC South. Let's go with...
Yeah, so we know it's AFC.
Who was shorter than 6'4". Should we go with... I cannot... Not a receiver.
Well, this is like Amari Cooper. Oh, wait, no, it's not receiver. Yeah, this is quarterback probably. Isn't Deshaun Watson 6 foot something?
Yep, and he's older than 25.
AFC North. I'm stupid.
Oh, no.
Trevor Lawrence is not that old. trying to think of like a kind of tall quarterback. It's not too tall for a quarterback. I mean,
Herbert is tall.
this could very well be
It
Mahomes.
is. This is Mahomes, bro.
I feel like we could just put Mahomes.
Let's try it.
Okay, just making sure. Just making sure.
Okay, we're just testing the water. We're just dipping our toe in the water.
It's
That's
not a
all we're doing.
quarterback either. Not a quarterback either, and it's definitely the AFC South.
I hate Weddle, bro.
So
They're so annoying in Weddle, man.
I know. 6'3".
AFC South, AFC South.
What number is Dalton Schultz? He's not 16 or 17, right?
There's no way he's shorter than 6'4", though. I refuse to believe a tight end is shorter than 6'4" in this modern NFL.
You never know, man. You never know.
It's probably a Colt. I feel like it's a Colt.
So what do you think it is? You think it's like a defensive back? You think it's? I mean,
but they don't have defense though, right? Isn't it just offense?
is it Tim Tebow, legendary tight end of Jacksonville?
What are we doing here, Weddle? It might legit be Evan Ingram because I think he's 6'3". I think he's 6'3".
Evan Ingram is. Oh my God! Oh lordy!
Of course, I said 6'3" in the modern NFL, but he's one of the best tight ends in the league, especially in fantasy. He's 6'3".
He's incredibly average in fantasy. Let's not.
Whoa! Are you?
Hey, you had a great Weddle pull right there. You had a great pull there, but I don't know. We're going a little too far with the Evan Ingram.
Well, he is top 5. Past he's gonna be probably top 3 this year. He's a good fantasy pickup. He's not a great player, but
does not find the end zone a lot. At least as far as I remember.
Hey, some games at least. At least some games, man, he'll be going crazy with 12 targets. There's some games where Trevor Lawrence does not look at anybody else but this dude, man. I really hope that Brian Thomas can step up for the Jaguars. Yeah, the team.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's not better at this point, but it is what it is. I hope Brian Thomas can help this guy out from LSU. I hope to have him as one of my late pickups for fantasy. But looks like we'll draft tomorrow for our Texas Student Television's Fantasy League. But
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Should be.
Yeah.
Love fantasy football, man.
Yeah. I'll wrap it up for this show, though. You can follow this podcast. This was episode 53. I did not say that, I think, at the top. But this is episode 53.
Adolis number 53. All right. But don't forget, another legend, another current legend in Dallas sports, Wyatt Johnston. Wyatt Johnston and Adolis Garcia. This is a legendary episode number. All right.
Yeah, potentially, bro. I don't know if you saw what the future roster is supposed to look forward to in next year's Rangers season, but they're listing what each player would be in the lineup and then in the rotation, and then when they got to Adolis, they're like Adolis : humbled Adolis, and it's supposed to be something they're supposed to look forward to. And I'm like, bro, come on, he might not even be here, bro. He might not even be here anymore. We're calling a humbled Adolis is gonna bring the Rangers back next year. I'm like, I don't know. Who knows what this team is going to look like next year?
What do they mean humble though? Like, what is he not done?
I don't know.
It's not like he's not going out and like bragging or anything, or like acting like like putting up his ring finger or anything. He's not doing anything. He's just putting his head down and trying to get hits. He just sucks at getting hits.
I gotta find that tweet, bro. But Adolis, not the season he was looking for at all. You want to go and give your socials really quick, TJ?
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at tj.krillowitz, Twitter /X at tj_Krillowitz. Pretty active on Twitter now, so yeah, give me a follow.
Yeah, you can follow me on X and Twitter at Joseph_Duffy99. Again, at Joseph_Duffy99. Primarily Twitter. I don't really use X that much. I mean, Instagram that much. And then if you want to follow TikTok, at Joe_Duffy. Very off and on in that still. But if you want to follow, please. We'll post these usually on Saturdays at 11 a.m. in the summer. That's probably the last time we're doing it for the summer. go back to midweek posts for the future at some point, being that it's football season and that we're right underway for what is to be a great NFL season again. Concluding also MLB again for 2024, but NBA is just right behind that too. And a few months, it felt like the season really just ended, but NBA is coming up really in just about a month and a half.
The finals effect, man.
Hey man, you've been riding high. Feels nice. Must be nice to be a Western Conference champion. Hopefully, it can be a little bit better next year too.
And have an Olympic player that plays.
Yeah, for sure. That'll do it for episode 53 of the 2 and 4 Sports Show. You're home for everything Dallas-Fort Worth sports. For Joseph Duffy and TJ Pruitt, have a great rest of your day.